Welcome to the first episode of the M101 podcast. Remember, this is only a small extract of the full episode. In today's episode, myself and Rob covered 3 of the underlying principles of Movement 101, namely responsibility, empowerment, and education. Hope you enjoy it.
This is the Movement 101 podcast.
What does empowerment mean in terms of when we train clients or build programs?
Yeah, I love the fact that it's a process. You know, you can't go in and get, hey, could I have some empowerment, please? There, you have all the empowerment you need now. So it is a process. That's what I love about it. And what we do is we don't, fix someone in a session or in a program. We give them the tools. So we'll do our own analysis. And as you said earlier, it's not just movement. It might be mindset, beliefs, lifestyle. Look at the bigger picture. And here, I think this is what you need to start applying. Okay, if you go off and do this for the next few weeks, follow this program or do this, come back and that's we've seen people. Oh my God, yeah, it's working. I'm feeling better, and they're uplifted.
Yeah,
they're empowered.
Yeah. Essentially, they're doing the work, and as you mentioned there about we're
not doing a single rep for anyone ever.
Yeah, and because let's go back to just empowerment in general, because the aim is, like you said, it's a process, it's a journey. It's not just this one exercise, and again, fix me right now, because again, you're not broken. But we'll use the analogy of the dentist, because it's a huge one, and we all are really aware of the dentist, yet we're not really aware, say, for example, if we go to a physio, and both myself and you did this previously as well for years, expecting someone to fix us. But when you go to the dentist, you go and get your teeth checked or cleaned or whatever. If you didn't ever clean your teeth and went to the dentist, he would think you're an idiot, and he would give out to you and say, what are you doing? Because we all know it's on us to look after our teeth. The hygiene is our responsibility. We must be empowered to do it. And again, what we all do with our teeth, we just do it. We don't even think about it because it's so ingrained as a habit. Yet, unfortunately, when we go to a physio or we have back pain or we have an issue with our body, we expect to be fixed, yet we don't take into account, let's go back to that responsibility of our movement, of our lifestyle, of our mindset. And in the empowerment, for example, with the dentist, he would give us some education. He would tell us what's the best toothbrush to use. He would tell us what we need to do or not, and what we shouldn't eat, etc. And that's what every good physio does. They involve you in the process. They make sure you understand why you're doing these things, but ultimately you have the guiding principles yourself to now take out of this one session, because it's not about this hour, it's not about this one session, it's not about this moment in time. It's actually your lifestyle, it's your responsibility, and it's what you do once you leave here. And again, I don't think people are aware of that.
Yeah. I think it's I definitely see the industry improving,
Definitely.
Over the years, and even an amalgamation of, there's some seriously talented people out there. But for us, without the buy-in, without people taking responsibility, we get zero results. That's what's actually great about what we do. If you're not going to do it, hey, I wasn't consistent at all. Okay, well, I don't have an exercise or a program to give you that you only can do once. It is that repeated stimulus over time. But that's the beauty of it in a way.
And also, we talk about empowerment. That's where the life changing comes into, because we're not just giving you movement to make you move better and be more mobile. Again, we're using movement as a catalyst to literally transform your life. It's happened to you, it's happened to me, that we were moving in pain and we felt we were always going to be this way. And once we actually took that responsibility, once we felt that empowerment from the results that we got, from the work that we did, that did transform our mindset, that did transform our life. And that opens up a whole new world, both for our clients that we've seen. It has opened a new world for me and you. And that's the aim with movement that we're trying to achieve, is to open a whole new world for members, for clients, because it's huge.
Yeah, like no one really knows what their full potential is, So if this is clients get a push, and we've had clients who've come in with back pain and now they're off. They're professional trainers. They've changed career. They've achieved things that they probably at one stage didn't think possible. I know I have.
Yeah.
I remember thinking I go back to my sport. I couldn't do my sport because I was just unfit.
What was your sport?
Well, surfing. I started out late. I started out around 30,
By the way, he's 44.
Yeah, 44. Just. But yeah, I again, I'm living on the wrong side of Ireland for it. But anyway, I persevered, but mid-30s, whilst I was getting the hang of it, I'd gone through a particularly sedentary time, and yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't catch a wave this one day. I had back spasms, unfit, and I was just like that. That was the result of, the lifestyle. But you kind of sometimes you have to kind of hit that kind of rock bottom, if you like,
Yeah.
to say F this is going to change. So the training started, and yeah, I thought I'd get to a certain level and I'd be happy, but then you get to that certain level and it's like a new horizon appears, and you can go towards that.
And as you mentioned there about that new horizon, that's the beauty of what we do with clients and members and what we're trying to teach. Because go back to that empowerment, it is a journey. There's no end to this, I mean, like, you can get a great result today and feel great today, but as you mentioned, then things open up. You go, whoa, look at this landscape now that I've never saw before. I didn't even think was possible before.
Yeah.
And that's something that we have with clients. We always have clients, I forget it now, but we have our short-term goal, medium-term goal, long-term goal, and our dream goal. And the dream goal, we want to really make clear to clients going, well, what if there was no pain, if there's no limitations, if you thought you could achieve anything in the world, what would that be? Because if you can actually have that dream, if you can actually write out that dream, if you can actually envision that dream, it's a hell of a lot more likely to happen. And that's what happens when you really take that responsibility. And again, the empowerment from there opens up a whole new world. Like you mentioned, like, you're 44, Rob, and don't be blasé about it. You are a lot better than 20-year-olds surfing. You're surfing yourself for 3 hours non-stop, hitting waves that you see lads half your age not doing. And you're nothing special. You're just consistent. You know how the human body adapts. You know, by you being consistent, that it compounds over time, and you can see the results yourself in the sea.
Yeah, I had a session there a while ago, and I was surprised. I still surprise myself. Like, I hadn't been in the water in a while, but I've done all the fitness. I got big into swimming in 2020 actually, which is like sometimes is like hand to head moment. Why haven't I been doing this? 50 meter pool nearby, got into some sea swimming. So yeah, I see people going in. I was like, where are you going in? I was out before you, and I'm going to be out after you. So I can last a bit longer. Little trick for any surfers out there: get some of these hydration gels, stick them down your wetsuit, have them an hour and a half in, reduce the cramping, for example. There's other things you can do with regard to hydration, but yeah, like, I remember thinking at 30 I was getting old,
Yeah.
But now I'm 44, and I'm looking at some. There's a few guys around the world in Hawaii, and that there's a guy over in California, Peter Mel, he's 50 something. He just surfed one of the biggest waves ever at Mavericks, which is a big wave spot. Unbelievable. And like, he has 20 years left if he wants. He can be doing what he's doing. Well, maybe not Mavericks, but he can be surfing at a high level into his 70s. I've seen a picture of a guy in 80 surfing a wave that's twice his height,
Yeah, and again, that empowerment, that opens up a whole world of opportunity. You start to seek people who are doing things that you can do. And you at 44, me at 34, we move better than we ever have.
As the belief systems.
This is the Movement 101 podcast.
I just want to talk about this in particular because we deal with this an awful lot. Degenerative discs, and how that's kind of a bad thing, when in reality, actually, it's just aging. Because when you talk about the human body adapting, we know as you get older, the body does adapt, the body does change, it does begin to slow down, for want of a better word. But we can think of degenerating discs just like wrinkles on your face.
Yeah, or slip disc.
Okay, what slip disc?
So we're like, you really talk about the power of language there.
Yeah.
Like the lady earlier on, I've one leg shorter than the other. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm 8 years old. I've one leg shorter than the other. You have a slip disc. Oh my God, it slipped out. Like that's the image it puts in your head when that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Degenerative. Oh my God, I'm degenerating. Like, I don't know. It's
breaking down almost.
Breaking down.
Yeah.
So all these words, people understand them in their own way, and that creates a belief, that creates a worry, it creates a stress, and that affects how they move. Whereas if they had never heard those, they'd probably be better off.
Yeah.
It's like there is, the good with therapists, and there is a better understanding now of all that language. But yeah, 100%, your disc isn't going to be the same state when you're 19 as it is when you're 90, such as your skin. Yeah, so there's nothing. We all have degenerative discs.
Exactly.
We all have degenerative spines, etc.
And also there's a high percentage, especially as you get older, that if you were to get an MRI, it could show that you have a degenerative disc, but you actually have no pain.
Yeah, I'd be pretty confident that if I went in and got an MRI, they'd definitely find some damage there. You know?
Exactly. But again, the difference is we understand the adaptable nature of the human body. We understand how robust and strong it is, and we understand this is completely normal as a human as you age.
Well, and in fact, it'd be frightening if they said, "Hey, listen, we just did a complete MRI, and there's absolutely nothing wrong." It's like,
exactly.
Okay, there's something wrong. Then, if there's nothing wrong,
you
know, it is normal to have. For example, I have a lateral tear in my left hip. Okay, it's you know, I saw a surgeon over just to get his opinion. I didn't go surgery, but it helped me understand better what I needed to do to strengthen it. Obviously, some can require surgery, whatever. I'm not anti-surgery. I've surgery in my shoulders years ago, but damage is normal. Okay, it's normal.
Yeah. But that damage, again, has this negative connotation. You know, pain has this negative connotation. Even, for example, pain science is massive, and we definitely will, again, delve into it in future episodes. But sometimes I wake up with back pain, you know, and I've maybe trained a little bit hard, or maybe I haven't slept as well. Maybe my child hasn't slept.
Or maybe it's just you get a random pain in some joint.
You can have a random pain. And the thing is, I don't over-catastrophize it. I just accept for what it is. I may do a little less training. I may go for a walk, etc. I might try and get some sleep and some more water. But I know in a day, 2 or 3, it will pass. I know there's nothing seriously wrong.
Yeah, but you learn that.
Education. And this is why it's so important, because ultimately, right, forget
and
everything.
You were in pain for some time.
Yeah, well, I was in pain personally myself with my shoulder. And even that education, because again, I would go to a professional and he would tell me, this is your issue or this is your issue. And we couldn't get to it. And, you know, I didn't know at the time what I do know now. And that ultimately was life-changing for me. But like, this idea, because even what we try to get across with our members, with our clients, we give trainings, we give education, because we want them to plug and play the principles, responsibility, empowerment, etc., into their own lifestyle, not just this movement, because that's the most important thing. Because ultimately, if you have that education, you can make a much more informed decision. You can now go and apply this information that you know is going to help and improve your life. But again, it comes back to that responsibility. It comes back to you actually physically doing this. And once you know better, you can ultimately do better.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and like I suppose we've both experienced, you know, people who don't want to take the responsibility.
Yeah.
And it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
And they're looking for someone to aim, and they're trying this and trying that, and they're trying all these things rather than really taking responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, and really wanting to, you know, you need to be open to the education, you know, and not closed mind. And it's not like it's not necessarily going to be very technical. Like, I've been approached by people who are like, listen, I'm doing CrossFit, this is what I'm working out, but I want to become more powerful. I want to increase my training load because I'm training for this marathon, and have all of these niggles. And, you know, so can you give me mobility to pop in on top of my other training? I was like, listen, you've no problem training hard physically. What's going to be hard for you is actually take a bit of time off, go to bed a bit earlier, look at your nutrition.
But there's straight away. So there's education straight away. So it's, that person now realizes it's nothing to do with movement. It's nothing to do with mobility. Actually, your training volume and your training load is just too much your body can't handle.
It could be diet. Is your diet supporting the level of stress you're putting your joints, ligaments, muscles, etc.? Is your nutrition supporting your training? You know, is your sleep supporting your training? So you could do all the mobility exercise in the world, but if you're not getting enough protein, or maybe it's collagen or whatever, because you have a little bit of tear, you're not getting that stuff to repair.
Yep.
What's an exercise going to do? You know?
I think you're quite right in saying that, because it comes back to that first principle we talked about, responsibility and awareness.
Yeah.
People have different levels of awareness. So maybe some people aren't ready just yet to take this information on board. And again, not that what we're saying is gospel, but the idea being that it's a journey. You are where you are right now, but again, you can improve. You can have that empowerment. You can see this landscape open up for you once you begin to implement these principles. Thanks for listening. The full episode of this podcast is available to all Movement 101 members. If you would like to join our online community or want more details, please drop me a DM on Instagram at Brian_Movement101. See you soon.